I&Z Communications. Today I'm going to be showing y'all the proper way to splice fiber and a few tips and tricks to help y'all splice a little bit faster and to be a little bit more consistent with y'all splices. First of all, I'm just going to say we're going to be going over with a Komshine FX39 and a Fujikura 31S+. These are the two most common machines you're going to be using in this market. As far as the brand may vary, but as far as the actual splicer itself, it's going to be very similar for y'all. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and get into it. This is the Fujikura 31S+. Now with this machine, when you first buy them, it might have the non-removable trays in it. We have this one swapped over to these removable trays, which you're going to have a 250 micron tray, and you're going to have these 900 micron trays. Depending on the size of fiber you're using, you're going to make sure you have the accurate micron for the fiber. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start by stripping the 250 micron here. Now on the 250 micron, we're going to be using the smallest hole on the right here. This is for the clouding. So we're going to go ahead and remove the clouding. Alright, we got the clouding removed. We're going to grab a little bit of alcohol on the white. We're going to grab it by the base. This is an important part. Grab it by the base and pull with it. Don't grab it on the core. The core is the actual glass itself. So you want to grab it by the actual clouding and then pull it towards the core, just like so. Run it on there about 2 times. Go ahead and pop open our Fujikura. We're going to pull out the 250 micron tray. Go ahead and load it into the tray. Once you got it into the tray, you want to make sure the fiber is coming straight out. And make sure it's not at an angle. Sometimes this lid will catch on the end and it will cause it to jump over. So you want to make sure, just like that, that it is indeed in there properly and in the guide. Alright, now we're going to grab our CT08 Fujikura cleaver. Now before we go cleaving this, there's a couple things we want to look at. On these little pads right here and right here where the fiber rests, you want to make sure there's no fiber on there. It will break it when you go to cleave it. Same goes for these upper pads that rest on the top. So we're going to go ahead and drop our tray into here. Now when you drop your tray into here, a lot of the times what I see new techs do is they'll put it directly on this slot right here. So you want to pull it back and make sure you're not sitting up on that ridge right there, because it'll snap your fiber. As soon as you go to cleave it, it's going to break that fiber. So every time I put it in there, I like to pull it back a little bit and then push it back forward. And you also want to make sure the fiber is shooting straight across as level as possible. It'll help you from having to re-cleave it multiple times, saving you a lot of time on the job. Go ahead and cleave it. I'm going to drop this one in. Now, on the right side, before you strip your fiber, we're going to grab our 250 micron. We're going to grab our heat tube. So before we strip it, you want to slide on your heat tube. On the right hand side, go ahead, feed your 250 micron. Alright, we got our heat tube on there. We'll set that aside. Let's go ahead and strip it. No more than about 1 inch. Alright. Let's get a little bit more alcohol in there. And I like to do it about 2 times. Alrighty. So go ahead and grab the other tray. We're going to drop it right up in there. Alright. Once again, making sure there's no fiber sitting on your cleaver. We're going to slide it up in there. Alright. We're going to drop it in. And before I shut my bay, I open my oven. Before you shut your actual bay here, you want to make sure your fiber is indeed resting on these pads on both sides. Otherwise, you could break it. So we're going to go ahead and shut that. Hit set. It's going to line it up. As soon as your fiber splice is complete, which we did a 0.00 dB loss, we're going to grab our heat tube, slide our heat tube towards the splicer. Before you open your bay, do not hold it overhand. A lot of splicers will hold it overhand. Hold it underhand. Let it rest on your hand. Open the bay, keeping a little tension. Pop bay 1. pop bay 2, grab the tube and twist it just slowly. Boom, just like this. And then you can go straight into the oven. Alright, flip your bays, your tabs, shut your bay. We're going to wait for it to beep, indicating that our oven has heated up the tube. Alrighty, the oven should be done. Go ahead and pop the oven. We're going to pull the fiber out and we're going to let it rest straight. Because a lot of the times what will happen is the fiber will dry at an angle, and over time it could cause it to lose light or even break at the ends. So hold it straight up and blow on it a few times to help cool it off. You will see it turn into this white cloudish look. That's when you know everything is set and it is dry. A lot of the times what will happen is you'll go to move it too quick and it can twist and snap the splice dead center. Now we are good to go ahead and route this in our tray. So I'm going to do this one more time to show y'all it in full speed. So let me go ahead, remove this tube out of the way, and we're going to do it one more time for you. Grabbing our 250 micron, we're going to strip it. Remember, you don't need more than an inch. Get a little bit of alcohol. Grabbing it by the base, cleaning it. Remember, watch out. Make sure everything is straight and in line. Drop your tab. Go ahead, grab your other side. Grab your heat tube. Feed your heat tube. Let's go ahead and strip this side. Make sure you get all that cloud. Clean the fiber. Just drop it in our 250 micron tray. Go ahead and cleave it. Make sure it's straight and level. Go ahead and drop it into our splicer. Once again, before shutting the bay, making sure the fiber is indeed laying on the pads. With your oven open, I'm going to go ahead and slide my heat tube up and get it ready. Alright. Once again, a loss of 0.00 dB, which is a perfect splice. Slide your heat tube up, open bay 1, open bay 2. Just like this. There is a tension test set up on this machine, but it is turned off in the settings on this exact setup. Alrighty, let's pull it back out of the oven. Remember to let it dry straight, fiber running straight through. Give it a few blows. Once it turns into that cloudish look, you know it is good and ready for you to set into your tray. Now we'll go ahead and move on to the Komshine FX39. Alrighty, this is the Komshine FX39. Let's go ahead and get started here. We'll start by grabbing our 250 micron. Go ahead and give it a strip. Strip it down to the core. Get your alcohol. I like to run it down 2 times, just to be sure. Now the cleaver is going to be slightly different, as well as the machine, because it has unretractable trays, so we have to use a slightly different cleaver. On this cleaver, you'll see there's a slot for 900 micron and a slot for 200 micron. So we'll lay the 250 micron in the 250 slot, shutting that tab to hold it in place, making sure that it is indeed shooting level across and no fiber optic particles on either one of these pads on the top or bottom of these pads. Shut the top, hold it firmly and press the wheel in. When you open it, that will shoot back, cutting the fiber nice and straight. We'll go ahead and open the bay. Open tab 1. Now we're going to be placing this 250 micron directly in between this blue pad and that electrode. So I just wanted to take a second to explain exactly where we're putting that fiber. Now this little metal points here, these are your electrodes, and this blue pad is where your 250 micron will be resting. Now you want the end of your fiber to rest between this blue pad and this electrode. You don't want it to hang past the electrode, or you don't want it to hang behind the blue pad, on both sides. We're going to put it dead in between. When shutting this, you also want to make sure it does indeed stay in the groove. Alright, now we're going to grab our other side, making sure you got your heat tube. Go ahead and strip this side as well, keeping in mind that you do not need a whole lot stripped as well. Clean that. Once again, we're going to line it up on the 250 micron side, shutting the top. Alrighty. Once again, setting it between the electrode and that blue pad. I doubt you can see it, but just know that's where you gotta put it, right there. This splice really needs to be redone. Anytime you have a crack in your splice, you need to redo that splice. It is not a good splice. In this video, I decided to keep going just for the video's sake, but this is an uncalibrated machine we're using in this video. Just keep this in mind. We got a good splice right there. Go ahead and slide up our heat tube. Opening our oven, or our bay. Opening 1, 2, oven. Scooting up our heat tube and then dropping it straight in. Once again, keeping your right hand under, not over. Dropping it straight in. Shutting your tabs, shutting your bed, just like that. Once again, waiting on the oven to heat the heat tube. Once it goes off, we'll go ahead and remove it and let it cool down to temperature. Alrighty, oven just went off. Go ahead and open the oven. Pull your fiber out. Once again, letting it hang straight. Give it a few blows. Making sure it cools off. Alrighty, now you're good to go ahead and route it in your tray. Now, I appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. I hope this helped y'all learn how to splice fiber optics. If you have any other questions regarding the fiber or any other tips or tricks maybe I missed, please leave them in the comment section and I'll respond as quickly as possible. Thank you all for watching.